Hey there friends, Dave Paulides. This is a Skinwalker review episode. Yay! And the executive producer of our show, Huck, is in the building monitoring our activity, making sure I do a scrupulous job of reviewing. She's in a good mood. Yeah, you're a good girl. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's a good girl. Oh yes, you're a pretty girl. You have a lot of friends out there, Huck. Yeah, you do. You're a good girl. All right, let's get on with the episode, as we say. So, this would be segment for season 5, episode 11. Go back. I really appreciate the comments on the videos for the segments we've uploaded. Greatly appreciated. I'm a little confused. But people say, oh, you know what, the show is all fiction, it's all garbage. Then why are you watching? Better question is, why are you even commenting? Are you trying to convince us of that? So let's remember something. This ranch has a history going back about 50 years of strange activity. Several different ranch owners reported it. Several different investigative teams have worked it, one from the government, one from Bigelow, and now the one that's on the ranch now. If you're looking for quick answers, you're probably not going to find it. And why do I say that? Because some of the most brilliant minds were there with Bigelow's group. And I think it's been shown that whatever is at the ranch is way smarter than we are. But let's get into this episode. So they started with the drill crew in the mesa again. Now this has been going on for a long time. Travis said that there's a 400-foot dome-shaped object in the mesa. They're trying to put a drill along each side of that object, put some devices in so that they can radiate back and forth or send messages back and forth and figure out what is in the middle. Past 5 weeks, drillers have been working on it. Last week, the beacon stopped on it. They're 260 feet short of completing the drill. And when they pulled the beacon out, it was transmitting regularly, normally. They recalibrated it, put it back in the hole, and Eric said that the anomaly is interfering with the signal. So they sent it back in the hole on the drill. They weren't even in all the way till the end of the hole where they finished drilling before. Signal stopped again. Drillers said they have no idea why it's doing this. They have years and years of experience. It's never happened before. And they have to get a new type of beacon, they think. Drillers said they'd never even heard of this happening before, which is pretty interesting. If you think about all the different types of consistencies in geology, and they've never had it happen in the past, why is it happening at the ranch? Because every time you move dirt at the ranch, something bad happens. Digging, drilling, whatever you're doing, not good. They switch and they go and they talk about the drones now and the drone company that comes out. And they bring out 1,000 drones. Looked like they had maybe 15 people there. It was a big deal. And what they were going to do is formation fly these drones. One line, and parallel to this line, another line of drones flying through the sky in formation. And as they're doing this, Travis finds that there's 1.6 gigahertz transmitting again. They are also going to use an IR device that revealed the 2,000 foot tall cone anomaly above the triangle. Now these 1,000 drones were going to be illuminated, so you could easily see them. They're going to go up 40 meters, about 120 feet. And they were going to fly directly over the triangle. And what they're trying to see is if flying over that area disrupts formation, does something unusual. Check it out. And they also want to see if it would alter the flight pattern. And then they had one specific special drone, a high-speed drone, that was going to be manned by one person that was wearing specialized goggles. And that drone could fly in, and it was so maneuverable, it could fly in and out of the formation to not disrupt the other drones. But it would have eyes and ears that the other drones wouldn't of what's going on, which was a good idea. And then they had high-speed cameras set up to the east and the west of what was going to fly. Again, super important. A lot of what has been captured at the ranch successfully has been captured on these high-speed cameras. And they could take 100 to 200 frames per second. And then they had multi-sensor boxes around the entire area that was like another level of detection of unusual anomalies. And then they also had an array of antennas looking for energy spikes in the area. They had everything very well covered. And then just before the drone launch, all these take off, they're going to shoot back to Travis. Travis loves his rockets. He's going to shoot a rocket, sort of, I don't know what's the right word, maybe mix up or confuse or disrupt whatever may be flying up above. And then Eric would be in the command center where he's usually at, monitoring screens and multi-sensors in there. The drone operators activated all of the drones, and they're sitting in a triangle on the ground. But all of them weren't activated for some reason. At about this time, over the mesa, Travis sees a UFO, very bright light. And then the drones launch meaning they get turned on, and all of their lights are supposed to blink in unison. It's part of the display they do at large stadiums and things with these drones. It's a visual thing. So they have to all blink in unison. Well, when they turned them all on, they weren't blinking in unison. They were all blinking completely random. Drone operators said, it's never happened before. This is a big company. 1,000 drones, it's a lot of money they've got sitting there on the ground. And the drone operator said not only had it never happened, they couldn't even understand why it was happening. All of these drones were operated by a computer system under a tent, and you could see that they turned them on simultaneously. They should have all functioned identically. And that was the idea behind these mass stadium displays that they do. And then the multi-sensor antenna that Travis's team had set up, that failed. They had to reset it again. 1.6 gigahertz signal came back. The antenna at the launch pad was picking up the 1.6 gigahertz signal. And Travis said that the signal was operating like it was trying to communicate. He said this before. And I wish that they'd have, because you could see the pulses coming on the machine that he was looking at, I wish that they would allow those extensive video coverage of those signals. I wish they'd let it out to us. Because there's people that are experts at SOS, experts at communication that maybe could decipher this. Maybe they don't want us to. I don't know. And then one of the antennas pointed towards the sky, right up above them, picks up the 1.6 gigahertz signal. Now that was bizarre. And Travis mentioned that and said, so that means it's coming from the sky down to us, but there's nothing up there, right? So they got a signal from the sky. They picked up another signal from the mesa at the exit point. Weeks and weeks ago, they found when the helicopter was up, they saw a UFO going in the mesa at one point and then exiting later on further down the mesa. Well, at that exit point, they're picking up this 1.6 gigahertz signal as well. So they've got it now at the exit point, the east field, and the sky all transmitting at 1.6. Travis made a good point. Could this signal be transponding from one location, bouncing around the inside of the cone, the cone up above the triangle, and that's why they're getting the deflection of the signal at different locations? Good point. I don't know. So rather than launch 1,000, they launched 200 drones. 196 take off. And they have an erratic wiggle to them. And you could see it on the screen. So they all go up and they're doing this, and it doesn't look like a very stable or very good show, if that's what they were trying to do. And again, it was reiterated that they were all pre-programmed to line up in two straight lines parallel to each other. And they weren't doing it right away. And then slowly they moved into these lines, but they weren't perfectly straight. They're pretty straight, but something was wrong. Now, the manually operated drone I was telling you about, it's up. The drones, the 200 line up 100 straight in each line. This manual drone takes off and it starts to move through the other drones, and it's got visual on it. And as it's flying along, something happens. Travis said that he could hear that drone hit something. And it was far away from the mesa when it hit. And when it hit, everyone could see it going to the ground crashing. Let me tell you, from a drone owner, that is a bad thing when a drone crashes. Drones are expensive. They're expensive to fix. I felt my wallet hurt when those guys crashed that thing because that was an expensive drone. The other drones probably weren't that expensive, but that one was. So the crew has the two lines of drones up in the air. They're up for about 8 minutes. And they decide that they're going to pull them back down and put them on the ground. Travis again says he's confused by this 1.6 gigahertz signal. He doesn't understand why it's coming from these different points. And they're wondering, could that 1.6 gigahertz signal be interfering somehow with the drones? Now, drones, when you get them up and you pre-program them, they all work off GPS. And remember, the GPS signal in this area has had problems before. So they break away and they go back to the command center where they're going to evaluate what they learned. Yeah, we heard you out there, Huck. Shh. She's mad about something. Ooh. She's probably mad Dad's not out there playing with her. Well, so they're in the command center, and Eric says that he has lots to present. I better close this door. I don't need Huck to be. So this is not the cone of silence that you'd see on Get Smart, but it's better than the door open. So in the command center, Eric says he has lots to present. The UFOs start to appear when drones are disconnected. Travis said he saw a bright UFO UAP, wasn't a plane, over the mesa, and then it vanished. And then they were looking at high-speed film footage, and they started to see multiple UFOs fly across the screen. And they were very faint. One of them started to come across and became two. And then it slowly went at an angle across the screen. Travis says, we don't know what we're looking at, but unusual. And the timing of it was unusual. And it all started at about the time the drones started to malfunction. Travis reiterated they were not planes. And on the instrumentation inside the command center, it confirmed that they were not planes. The drone that was the lone drone that crashed to the ground. Boy, she's mad about something. That lone drone, they went to it and they turned on the hearing. It has sound. And you could hear it flying along, and then all of a sudden it hit something, but it wasn't near anything that they saw. And rather crashing to the ground underneath where it hit something, they found it way across the other side of the ranch on top of the mesa, the next day. Drone company said they can't figure out what interfered with their drones, nor what they could they understand what that singular drone may have hit, and that was bothersome. A thermal view of the watchtower shows several UFOs flying through. It was invisible to human eye. Now, thermal view is a heat signature going across the sky. That's what it's seeing. That's FLIR. And remember, they had high-speed cameras, they had FLIR, they had other sensors to pick up radio messages, 1.6 gigahertz, etc. They had just about everything covered. The high-speed camera did pick up a UFO going through. That one turned into two. One of them was coming towards the ground and then just vanished. Travis's words, Lord of mercy, what are we seeing? Many UFOs were picked up on high-speed cameras at the time these drones were up. Drone company said they appreciated the invitation, and then Travis and Eric said, well, we'd like to have you back. And we'd like to fly drones over the triangle, and then another set of drones over the east field to see if there's a disturbance between each location and each flight. Or to see if they both flew simultaneously, nothing would happen. Now, what I was thinking about is just maybe a quarter of a mile from the ranch is a place called Bottle Hollow Reservoir. What if they did the exact same experiment right next to the reservoir? Would they have the same exact results? This show is about the anomalies at the ranch. But what if they did the same thing off the ranch and they got the same results? Well, maybe that would diminish the importance of the ranch on the show, but I just thought that'd be interesting, because I know UFOs, UAPs are all related to water. Underwater submerged objects are huge. Just fact. Eric said, we'd like to know how UFOs interfere with our equipment. I think everybody'd like to know that. And then that 1.6 gigahertz signal keeps coming back, keeps coming back. And with Travis saying it just pulses, or it looks like communication, what does that mean? And again, if I had one wish, it would be that they would put a camera on that meter that's showing that 1.6 pulse. And does it pulse in a communication-like figure, say SOS? That's just the simplest one to me. If it's not SOS, could a group of you out there figure it out? Kind of wish that they'd let that footage go. So in the meantime, they say they're bringing back the drones. The show was semi-interesting in that they did see UFOs. But again, the high-speed cameras in the FLIR are only operating during the time that those drones go up. So my question is, if they just went out there and sat in the tents and activated the high-speed cameras and the FLIR without anything else going on, without rocket launches or anything, would they also see the UFOs, UAPs? My guess is they are, and they will. I think there's a lot more activity going on that you don't see with the human eye, but it's with this advanced equipment that you do. And what does that mean? I'm not sure what it means. I think that the ranch in that area of Uinta County has much more UFO activity than we're led to believe. It's been happening for years and years and years, and we have to be happy that we just have the results coming from the ranch and these people. I still think it's a blessing that Eric and Travis are at the ranch. Those two men are brilliant, and Brandon Fugal is lucky to have them. I'm sure they're getting compensated well, but the way they communicate with the staff, I've been around super smart people in my life, engineers, physicists, and things when I worked in technology. And many of them don't have great communication skills. Eric and Travis do. And you can say what you want to about the show. Those two men are not normal in their field. They are really exceptional people. And again, as an audience member, I just feel fortunate to watch it every week. So this was the second show that I missed. And then right after this one, I'm going to put up the third one in the series. So remember, right here, I'll do a review of every Skinwalker Ranch show. And I'm wearing my hat. Yes, liberty. It should be the most important word in your dictionary. Highlighted, underlined. It's a hat we made, US flag. On the back is CanAmMissing.com, where you can go to read up about missing people. The artwork was done by Harvey Pratt, a Native American. You can get it at our store, NA like North America, nabigfootsearch.com. Thanks for being here. Paulides out.